Rubik's Cube walkthrough solves are one of the best ways of finding weaknesses you don't even know you have and learning new techniques and ideas from people who are faster than you just by watching and paying close attention to a few example solves. So for this reason, today I'm going to be doing 5 advanced walkthrough solves for you guys. So let's get into it, starting with the first scramble. And on this first scramble, you might immediately think that white looks pretty good because you've got this free pair here and this red piece which can just go in one move. But the continuation with solving the rest of the cross pieces makes it quite inefficient to preserve this pair. So what I'll do in this situation is look on yellow. And here you've also got a free pair and a pretty straightforward cross. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a Y2 and hold this pair, which will solve into the back, the orange-green. And then I'm going to solve the cross pieces. So I'm going to try and preserve this pair. So these two you can solve by doing one move to set it up to this case and then solving that, so basically like that. Then you do a D prime to insert this one, so an L prime after this. But here if we just do the L prime, it won't preserve this pair, or a U or a U2. So we're going to do a U prime and then we're going to do L prime D2, and then that solves our cross, and then we've got this free pair into the back. Now from here we've got a free pair here which I didn't see in inspection, so if I was being optimal I'd solve this, but in a solve what I'd do is I would move the D layer over and do a U2, then I'd rotate and then use keyhole to solve this, so D layer misaligned because the corner's already solved, and then just insert the edge, and then that also preserves this pair, so it's still a free pair. Then from here, rather than doing U, D prime and then rotating, there's a trick where you can just do an E move like this, and then insert the pair. Yep. Then for the last pair, I'm just going to use F move to split it up and insert it. Then a pretty straightforward OLL and an R perm to finish off. Now for the second scramble, again white looks alright with this piece which can go in one move, which sets up this one and then this one, but you've got this flipped piece here which makes it quite inefficient to solve. But there's a much better option on yellow where we can do an X cross, starting off by solving these two pieces, and then we're going to build the X cross with these two, this block and this edge, which is in quite a convenient position. So we're going to solve this piece here, then we're going to move over here and start our X crossing. So we're going to do an R prime, U to R prime, F, which basically solves it. So what we're doing is we're doing an R2 to solve this edge, and then basically inserting this block like this, except we're combining it so that it takes less moves. So we're doing that, and D2, and then we've got our X cross in the back slot, which is very ideal. Then we don't have to rotate because we've got this pair, but it would insert this pair, which would give us a really nasty case. So in this case I would rotate and solve this pair into the back, which sets up this free pair. And then again, if you're being optimal, you could sledge this and get a nicer case, but in a solve I wouldn't see that, and I'll just go on here and then get a pretty nice last layer combination to finish off. Now for the third scramble, we're going to do a white cross. Yellow is also alright here, but the white cross is pretty simple and allows you to set up a nice pair to start off with. So we're going to start by doing R2 B prime to solve these two pieces, which are set up in quite a nice pattern here, which you can recognize easily. So solve them like that, also quite quick. Then that sets up another easy case here for these last two, and you'll notice here that we can track and set up this pair by doing F, and then while we're inserting this, actually overshooting and doing an extra move and cancelling into basically this pair. So pairing that up, D2, and then insert it into the back, which is again a good place to insert into. Now we're not in the best position. We've got two misoriented edges, so the colors on their sides don't match up either of the centers on the sides, but luckily I know a trick for this case, which I'm going to use here. So it's basically where you do U prime and then an R move, which sets it up into a free pair, which you can solve like this, except the finger tricks aren't that great. So what you do is you do R prime, and then because you're already in this position, you push with this finger and do an F move, push the U move, bring it back and back down. So So that's basically a cool trick for that pair, which you can use, and it's pretty quick as well. Then the last two pairs, again, both misoriented. So we'll rotate, and then just go into this one, and then the last one. And you'll notice already before this that all of our yellow edges are all facing us or facing the top, which means that they're oriented, and we'll only get an OLL where we need to orient the corners because all the edges will already be sorted. So we solve this, and then when we're solving this last one, yeah, we can cancel into OLL. So I wouldn't do this in a solve, but you can notice, if you're smart, that you can cancel into an anti-soon here. Yeah, so anti-soon, obviously, normally I'll just insert and then go into the alg, but yeah, that's a cool cancellation if you know it. Then just wipe them to finish off, and that's the third solve. Now for the fourth solve, we're going to do a yellow X cross. White isn't very good on this scramble, which is why I immediately went for yellow, because it's already got two pieces on its center. They aren't in the correct positions though, they need to swap, swap to a different position. But luckily we've also got this green piece here, which we can use to do sort of a replacement technique to solve these. So we're going to use that, but also use these two pieces here in the back to make ourselves an X cross. So the way it's going to work is we're going to do an L prime to take this piece out of the bottom layer, and then we're going to do this replacement technique, except we're going to do an F prime in the middle here to solve this piece while we're solving it, then finish off. And then before we do the D2 to solve the cross, we've got this edge solved in the back, and I was taking note of the positions, and now we can just do an insert here to solve this corner, which will then pair it up with this edge once we've done the D2 and create an X cross. But on top of that, you can notice that this case that we've got here, if you do these moves to insert this pair, you get another free pair, which also makes it very easy then to continue and makes your solve very efficient. So we'll do our D2 and solve this pair. And now we don't have the nicest death duel cases. In this case, I'd probably just rotate, and then I'll do one or two things. I already know that this is the red and blue edge from this position, because I can see that this is the other red F2L edge. I can see the red white edge, and this one has green on it. So I know that the blue edge back here, because the other blue edge is here with white on it, has to be the red, the blue red edge. Yeah. So I could just go and take that out by making this free pair like that. But realistically, in a solve, what I'll probably end up doing is rotating and solving this pair, either with a sledge here to set up this case, or just normally like this, rotating back and inserting it. So not a super efficient end to the solve, but it's alright. Then finishing off, nice OLO and a G perm. Now going to the last solve. For this last scramble, I'm going to do another white cross, and I'm going to set up a free pair. Yellow looks promising at first with this piece, and this one can be solved in one move, but I couldn't find any good first pair options on this scramble. So yeah, I'm just going to go with this white cross. So we start by solving this piece into its position, spawn move, then we solve the orange next to it, and then here we've got a D to put this one in, and then you'll notice that we have to do one move to solve this, and then insert this edge. And from here you can already see that this edge won't move, this corner will move down to here, the R prime won't affect it, then the F will bring it up to here. So we'll basically twist it in that direction, which will then give us a free pair. So we do that and solve the cross, and then we've got our free pair to insert into the back there. Now next I'm going to solve this pair, so rotate and solve that. Then from here, in a solve, what I'd probably end up doing would be solving this pair first, even though that might look like a bad option because you've got this pair with both pieces in the top layer, whereas this one you have to take it out. But if you solve this pair, you get a really nasty case for your last one, which is not ideal obviously. But if you solve this one first, like this, and solve into the back, you get a much more preferable case for your last slot. Then OLO and a Y perm to finish it off. So those are the walkthrough solves for today. If you still have any questions, just leave them in the comments, or if you're confused about something, just go and rewatch it again. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.